Hey there, what's up YouTube? It's Bobby, aka Paginator, and it's time for August TBR. This month, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to play like G. We're going to play TBR Vitar. Usually I use my own TBR cards as well as Jessie from Bow Ties and Books in their deck, but since G is G, she's amazing and shares everything. I have her game board, I have her cards, so we're just going to use her stuff. If you don't know, G's channel is Bookroast, and her game is TBR Vitar, which is inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender. So this is a small version of her game board, and we've also got clues to help us remember what the tiles are, because she's very nice and gives things to help. And we've also got cards. Of course, these are just printed on regular paper, not card stock, but they're still her cards that she made for this game. So we're going to use those. And for my little moving piece, I have this little teeny tiny Ron Weasley that my nephews gave me a couple years ago for my birthday. And he's just been kind of hanging out on my shelf being bored. So he's going to be the mover for this game. We're going to try to get 7 books to read in the month of August, and let's see how this goes. Alright, roll number 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have a blank tile, which means we draw a card. Alright, blank tile means we draw a card. If I do anything wrong in this game or something that's unlike what G would do, I apologize. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Alright, we have June, read a book featuring assassins or mercenaries. Alright, so for this one I'm going to pick up a book that I have had for ages and never read. This is Assassin's Heart by Sarah Ahirs. And it says, in the kingdom of Lavero, 9 rival families of assassins lawfully kill people for a price. As a highly skilled member of one of those powerful clans, 17-year-old Leah Saldana has always trusted in the strength of her family, until she awakens to find them murdered and her home in flames. The Davias, the Saldana's biggest enemy, must be responsible, and Leah should have seen it coming, but her secret relationship with the Davias' son Val has clouded her otherwise killer instinct and given the Davias more reason than ever to take her family down. Racked with guilt and shattered over Val's probable betrayal, Leah sets out to even the score with her heart set on retaliation and only one thought clear in her mind: make the Davias pay. So, like I said, I've had this for quite a while. It's time I've read it. It fits this prompt perfectly. Alright, oops, second roll. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. So we landed on 2 times book. This turn you have to draw 2 prompt cards and select 2 books to read instead of 1. Crap. That means I'm going to be having 8 reads for this month. Ooh. Okay. Alright, I'm just writing down a list, because if I get more extras, then I'm going to forget things. So, okay. Card number 1 for this prompt is Zuko, reread an old favorite. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to go with my very favorite book of all time, Persuasion by Jane Austen. Incidentally, Lazy Homebody, I know you read this book for Sharkathon. Did you like it? Let me know. This book is about Anne Elliot, and she used to be in love with this guy, Captain Frederick Wentworth, but he wasn't captain back then. He was just a lowly sailor. And he proposed, and she said no because she was persuaded by family members and friends to say no because he wasn't good enough. But now he's this rich, wealthy, successful captain in the British Navy, and he's back. And does he love her anymore? Probably not. What are they going to do? It's so good. Yay. Yay, I'm so excited. All right, and our second card for this one is Fire Navy Ship. Word ship in the title or ship on the cover. Okay. Okay, so for this one, we're going to stretch a little bit. This is Namesake by Adrienne Young. It doesn't have ship in the title, and there's not a ship on the cover, but it is like piratey adventure. There's ships in the story. I feel like this would still work. And if not, it's my version of this game, so I get to make the rules, I guess, adapted from G's rules. We're just going with this one. So the dust jacket on this one says, "Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. With the Marigold ship free of her father, Fable and the rest of the crew were set to start over. That freedom is short-lived when Fable becomes a pawn in a notorious thug's scheme. In order to get to her intended destination, she must help him to secure a partnership with Holland, a powerful gem trader who is more than she seems." I'm not going to read the rest of this because I don't want to, like, spoil anything for the first book, and I hope I didn't already, so there we go. Roll number 3, 2. Okay. All right, so I landed on a tile last chance book. So you're supposed to pick a book that you've been thinking about unhauling and give it another chance. Okay, so for a book that I've almost unhauled a couple of times, it's Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. I started this book a couple of years ago. It was recommended to me by one of my students who was then in high school, and now she's graduated from high school. And I never, like, actually finished it. I barely got into it, and I remember liking it, but then it was right before I had to go on a field trip, like a multiple-day field trip with kids, and I think I was so exhausted by the time that I got back. I looked at this book sitting there, and I was like, nah, I'm going to set you aside for a while, and never came back to it. And it's time I gave it a fair chance. So Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. It says, "In a world where the ancient Great Library of Alexandria was never destroyed, knowledge now rules the world, freely available but strictly controlled. Owning private books is a crime." How dare you. Jess Brightwell is the son of a black market book smuggler sent to the library to compete for a position as a scholar, but even as he forms friendships and finds his true gifts, he begins to unearth the dark secrets of the greatest and most revered institution in the world. Those who control the Great Library believe that knowledge is more valuable than any human life, and soon both heretics and books will burn. This is the first book in a series, and it is a very intriguing premise. I am excited to actually read this time and see if it's good or not good. All right, next roll. 5. That seems to be my number of choice these days. All right, so I landed on the element triangles, and G's instructions say, "Spin the wheel or assign values for a random number generator and read a book within a genre that the arrow landed on. You don't need to take the steps for this spin." So I think maybe what I'll do is use a random number generator, and let's do like a number between 1 and 4, and 1 will be air, 2 fire, 3 earth, and 4 water. So 1 air, 2 fire, 3 earth, and 4 water. All right. All right, so I've got it up here. And what did it come up with? 3. So that is earth. And earth is contemporary, so I need to find a contemporary read. All right, so this is an easy pick. I went straight for this book. It is Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler. I bought this a while ago and been wanting to get to it. It says Larissa Bogdan was supposed to spend her summer babysitting and bookselling. Instead, she tagged along with her mom to the Outer Banks, working on her tan and making new friends. Now she's back and starting her senior year at Stratford High, only to face another unexpected turn. She's finally attracted the attention of superstar quarterback Chase Harding, the guy she's crushed on since middle school. Then Jasmine Killery shows up. Jasmine, who's supposed to be in North Carolina, not the New York City suburbs. Jasmine, who immediately entices Stratford's student body with her glittering beauty and casual cool style. Jasmine, who gave Larissa the 3 most perfect months of her life. So there's a definite love triangle going on. She is still probably got feelings for Jasmine, but there's this new boy, and so it's going to be like a bisexual love triangle situation. Seems like a cool, fun summer read. It's right in the title, Cool for the Summer. Here's our next roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A blank, which means draw a card. All right, so we landed on a blank, which means we're going to pick a card, and I've got a hold of one here. Jasmine tea. Relax. Pick whatever book you want. Just make sure to brew some tea when reading. I can do that. I don't drink regular tea, but I do drink herbal tea, and that I can definitely do. All right, so I decided to go with The Book Wanderers by Anna James. This is the first in a series, Pages & Co. and it is a middle grade book. It says here, ever since her mother's disappearance, 11-year-old Tilly Pages has found her comfort in the story at Pages & Co., her grandparents' bookshop. But when her favorite characters, Anne of Green Gables and Alice from Wonderland, start showing up at the shop, Tilly's adventures become very real. Not only can she follow Anne and Alice into their books, she discovers she can book wander into any story she chooses. My dream magical power. Tilly's surprising new ability leads her to fun and exciting adventures, but danger may be lurking on the very next page. When new secrets are uncovered, it's up to Tilly to solve the mystery of what happened to her mother all those years ago. From debut author Anna James comes an enchanting story about the magic of books and the power of imagination. I'm so excited for this. And the sad thing is, I'm filming this ahead of time, and it's going to be a little bit before August starts, so I have to wait. Alright, second to last roll, we hope. 6. When we slide down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, another blank tile means another card to pick, and we have Badger Mole, read a hardcover book. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of choice here. I like it. Okay, so for this one, I chose a chunker. I don't know what I was thinking. I had some other hardbacks that were smaller, but this one was just calling to me. This is Master of One. This is by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. And it says here, life in the Queen City isn't easy, especially for a two-bit thief like Rags. When his latest score goes sideways, he's nabbed by a royal sorcerer, Morian the Last, who forces him to steal the 6 pieces of an immeasurably powerful ancient Fey relic. Rags is still determined to somehow get away unscathed until he discovers that the relics Morian is after are actually people. And it goes through some different characters here, so it seems like we're going to have a squad of characters. We've got a Fey prince, a Queensguard deserter, a daughter of disgraced nobility, a deceptively sweet-natured prince, a different prince, I guess, a member of the underground resistance, and then Rags. There's no way they can let Morian enact his dark plan, but 6 misfits against an exceptionally wicked enemy doesn't make for generous odds. Luckily, Rags is not generous, he's smart, and he has a plan that just might work. I have glittery sprayed edges on this book. Isn't it pretty? Alright, last roll. 2. 1, 2. Cabbage pot. Alright, so we landed on cabbage pot. And so for G, she has like a ceramic pot that's shaped like a cabbage, and she has all of her TBR books there. And I don't have one of those, so I have my Goodreads like want to read list, which is quite large. And I'm going to pull up a random number generator and find that number in my list. So I have my random number generator pulled up, and I'm going to hit that button. It says 186. Well, fudge ripple. We have another chunker. Crush by Tracy Wolff. This is the second book in the Crave series. It is massive. Maybe I can find it on audio. That might help me get through it a little bit quicker. We'll see. It is a vampire series. It's set at a boarding school, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, the first book anyway. So I have been wanting to get to the second one, and I'm glad this came up, but it's just really big. Okay, so here is my August TBR. We got some big books. This summer has been going really well for me reading-wise, so hopefully I'll be able to get through all of these. But also toward the end of August, I'm going to have to be back to school for teacher working days, and I'm not excited about it. I love my job, but those teacher working days, they're rough. Okay, so I hope you guys have had a great July, and here's to a happy August. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.